right. Good evening, everybody, students, families, guests, and welcome to our UMW Financial Aid and Student Accounts Next Steps session. We are currently in the meeting module of Zoom, and this session is being recorded. So if you do not want to be seen or heard, please go ahead and turn off your video and mute your microphone. All right. My name is Tessa Howard, and I am a part of the UMW Financial Aid team. And my presenting partner today is Julie Pugliese, and she is a member of the UMW Student Accounts team. Feel free at any time to begin posting questions during the presentation. And after we finish the presentation, we should have plenty of time to address all of your questions. You can enter your questions into the chat box. And like I said, we'll leave time at the end of the meeting if you just want to raise your hand and ask a question as well. It went too far. All right, just a little bit of information about our offices. The Office of Financial Aid, as well as the Office of Student Accounts, are located in Lee Hall on the second floor in our Student Services Department. Our phone numbers are here if you'd like to copy them down. We're also, obviously, on our website. We're answering emails. We are, a lot of us are still primarily teleworking, so email probably is the best option to get in touch. But please feel free to email, call, go to our website for any information. So some of the things we'll be discussing today are, where are you now in the financial aid process? Accessing financial aid through your UMW banner portal, UMW scholarships, student employment, payment methods, e-bills, and Eagle Pay. But before we get started, we just always like to give a little bit of information about our two offices. So I am from the Office of Financial Aid. Julie is from the Office of Student Accounts. Like I said, our offices work very closely together to award and bill students. Basically, you can see the Office of Financial Aid does all of the awarding and processing of financial aid. We manage the UMW Foundation Scholarship Program. We have the Student Employment Office. The Office of Student Accounts handles any funding coming in, along with the Office of the Cashier, but the Office of Student Accounts is primarily working with billing, payment plans, or if any prepaid educational programs such as a 529. Now, because we are two separate offices and entities, and we do have to abide by different federal and institutional regulations, there are two different processes once your student is at UMW that you'll want to complete with them. For the Office of Student Accounts, your student can sign you up, or if you're a student, you can sign any third person up, like a parent or grandparent, as an authorized payer. And this, excuse me, allows the student account staff to discuss the student bill with any other people. This person would have access to Eagle Pay to make payments, and they would also receive the email notifications and reminders of due dates and things like that that go out. They can make payments through Eagle Pay, and they can sign up through Eagle Pay. For financial aid, there's a similar process that is called delegated access. This allows the Office of Financial Aid to discuss financial aid with a third party, such as a parent, grandparent, or other party. It also allows us to discuss final grades with the third party, because a lot of times financial aid eligibility can be based on those final grades, which is why it's a slightly different process. Third party access to financial aid and final grade information can always be found by the student through the UMW banner portal. And the student can sign up a parent or other third party through the UMW banner portal, which is our portal where basically everything occurs. So let's talk a little bit about where we are now in the financial aid timeline. It is not too late to file the Fafsa. Our priority deadline was February 1st, but we would definitely still encourage everyone to go ahead and file a FAFSA. Sometimes even if you don't have financial need, it's something that could be required for scholarships or other financial aid programs. This is about the time, like I just said, that you'll want, once you've made that commitment to UMW, you'll want to sign anyone up as a delegated access or authorized payer. Our scholarship application deadline for the 21-22 academic year is May 15th. And verification deadline, which has to do with the FAFSA, and I'll talk about shortly, is July 1st. This is also kind of the start of the time when you'll want to start thinking about your payment plan strategy. Do you want to accept or decline your federal direct loan offers? Do you want to initiate a private loan or a Parent Plus loan to cover any unpaid balance, or sign up for a payment plan? This is kind of the time to start those conversations. And we also have a question once you have accepted admission and get into the Banner portal, where you can provide electronic consent so that we can send you emails. If you are the student, or if your student has already accepted admissions and has received their net ID, they can begin going into the UMW Banner portal, which allows them to view their financial aid requirements, award offer, financial aid history, later on in their academic career, their satisfactory academic progress. As you can see, the circle here is around all the different tabs that you can look at, and there are quite a few different options. So it's always good once you get that net idea to just go out and look around a little bit. This tab on this screenshot shows how students can go in and look at their financial aid requirements. So for example, this student has done all of their requirements. Good job. They've signed a master promissory note for their direct loan. They've done their departmental scholarship acceptance form. So this is what they'll be able to see. If they had not completed it, the status would be in red and it would tell them it was incomplete. So this is updated in real time. They can go in at any time and review this. This is some screenshots of the award offer tab. This is also updated in real time. As you can see, this is from a previous year. However, it's basically the same. This student has received a Pell Grant. It shows that it's fully accepted. A Commonwealth, which is a Virginia state grant. It also shows them if they were offered any federal college work study, if they were eligible for that. And it also shows if they have a Parent Plus loan. And it does break it down as you scroll down the page between grants and scholarships, work, and loans. So I had mentioned verification earlier. This is a process through the Federal Department of Education when you complete a FAFSA. It's generally about 30% of all FAFSAs are randomly selected for the verification process. And it's basically just for us to be able to make sure that there is no financial aid fraud by comparing the information in your FAFSA to your 2019 taxes. If you're selected, we do accept the 2019 tax transcript, which can be ordered through irs.gov for free. You can also pull your IRS information directly into the FAFSA using the data retrieval tool, or we also accept signed copies of 2019 1040 and any associated schedules. We may also ask for things such as wages, W-2 statements, 1099s, anything to make sure that the information on your FAFSA is supported. If you have not filed taxes as a parent, you would need to submit a verification of non-filing statement, which can also be ordered for free from the IRS. Here's just another screenshot of the some outstanding requirements. So some other things they may see through the Banner portal. As far as UMW scholarships, like I mentioned at the beginning, our scholarship application for 2021-2022 is currently open and it will close on May 15th. So we encourage everyone to go out. You can access it as soon as you get your net ID, and there are a variety of scholarships and they all have different criteria based on the donor wishes. If you haven't received a net ID yet, you can still go to umw.edu/scholar and review the different types of scholarships that are available. It is a smart application, so the student will only have to go in and fill out one application. Depending on what they enter into the fields, they can be taken to different areas of the application to see what they may be eligible for. You may notice that your student may have also been offered an admissions merit scholarship. This might be the Blue and Gray Award, the Eagle Award, the Presidential Award. There's quite a few of them. There are requirements for yearly renewal, but good news, they are renewable all 4 years, as long as they meet those requirements. For first-year students, they'll want to complete the scholarship acceptance form, which can be found on the form section of the financial aid website. We always like to give a little bit of information about federal student loans. They are in the students' names. As a freshman student, they are eligible for $5,500 a year, which is split between the fall and spring semester. They can accept these through the UMW Banner portal. And the acceptance process is that they would need to go into Banner and physically web accept their loan. And they also need to complete direct loan entrance counseling and a master promissory note at studentaid.gov. On my PowerPoint here, it also mentions the annual student loan acknowledgement process, but that has not been approved yet by the Department of Education. It's not come into play yet. It has been approved. And I also wanted to mention for anyone looking at covering the balance that there is a federal parent loan available called a Parent Plus loan. If you take out a Parent Plus loan, the funds, the repayment can be deferred until the student graduates. Another option for students is a private educational loan. We recommend Umw Select, which is a search tool for private educational loans. And we work with them at the university to get your actual loan funds. However, you can work with any bank or institution that you may be associated with for private educational loans. Just a reminder to continue to apply for private scholarships, maybe from community organizations, corporations, high schools. If your donor is sending a check or money to the university, please make sure the donor includes your student's ID and their name, if they have the ID, and their name when sending the scholarship check to the university. And lastly, a little bit about student employment. It is run through the Office of Financial Aid. In a normal year, there are approximately 700 on-campus jobs. We have worked really hard to, I know a lot of departments have some telework jobs now, and we still do have quite a variety of jobs on campus. We encourage students to fill out an application through the UMW careers portal. Jobs start at minimum wage. They can go up anywhere from $10 or $12 an hour if they're very specialized work. We recommend they work approximately 10 hours a week. And jobs can be available Student Services Center, library, bookstore. We have student aides in the Office of Financial Aid and all through Student Services. So we would encourage students to all reach out directly to their desired employer, because they're the ones that make the employment decisions. And with that, I will turn it over to Ms. Julie.
Hello, like Tessa said, my name is Julie Pugliese and I work in the Office of Student Accounts. First and foremost, we want to let you all know that your tuition notification does not get mailed. It gets emailed to your UMW email account, and the student can set up up to five authorized payers, parents, guardians, anyone that may help out with making payments. So they receive the email notification letting them know the bill is ready to be viewed and paid. You can see here the estimated times when the email notifications go out. Fall usually is mid-July. Spring will go out mid-November, and the summer, if you're signed up for summer courses, those go out usually around mid-April. Some payment methods that we accept. We do participate in the Virginia College Saving Plan. If you have a prepaid account, you simply notify the prepaid that your student is attending the University of Mary Washington. We receive a roster at the beginning of the semester to notate all the accounts of the amount that's going to be covered. So that portion you don't need to worry about, just the remaining balance. If it's an Invest account, once you get that first e-bill notification, you let Invest know how much money you need sent to the university, and they wire that payment right over. If you have an out-of-state savings plans, say Texas, Florida, it just depends on their billing method. So you want to reach out to them to check to see if you instruct them on how much money you need wired over, or if we invoice for them. And then direct payments through Eagle Pay. We accept Visa, MasterCard, Discover, American Express. There is a 2.75% interest or service fee that's associated if you pay with those cards. If you do an e-check, which comes directly out of your checking account, there's no fee for that. So we do have payment plans that we offer through the university. We use a third party called Nelnet. The fall payment plans usually open late May, and spring will open mid-October. The earlier you sign up, the more you can maximize the amount of payments you have. For each semester, you can get up to 5. There is an enrollment fee, $40 and $60 depending on when you enroll. However, that is the only other, you're not charged interest. If you do associate it with a credit card, you are charged that service fee for each payment. However, if you do an e-check, there's no additional fees. It automatically comes out of that account on the 5th of every month and gets posted to the student account. And you'll just want to make sure that what you have budgeted in the payment plan does in fact cover the your student's account's charges. So refunds, we always like to discuss refunds. This will happen if you receive more funds coming in than the cost of your tuition. The student will receive a refund in their name, and it will be a check that gets sent to the UMW post office. To avoid your student getting the refund or a check, you can sign up for direct deposit. We highly encourage that. It's safe and effective. And if the parents want that refund to come directly to them, they can enter their bank account information so that refund comes directly to them. Again, here is our contact information. If you have any questions, please give us a call, email, but I guess this will be the time where we can answer some questions.
All right. Yeah, we'll go ahead and leave this slide up in case you want to copy down any of our office information. The first question in the chat, is it too late to update the FAFSA if there was a change in income? The FAFSA is generally based on 2-year prior data. So at this point, any income we're looking at on the FAFSA would be from 2019. What I'm assuming in the question is that possibly there was a change of income from 2019 until now, which is very common. If that is the case, we do have a process called a special circumstance request that allows us to take into account any changes in income that have occurred since that FAFSA was filed. So you wouldn't want to go in and change the FAFSA. You'd actually want to go through this special circumstance process. If you would like to do that, you can contact our office at finaid@umw.edu, and we would be happy to send you the initial form and attach you to a financial aid advisor so they can start working with you. All right, when do we sign all the forms for FERPA? Can we do that before school starts? Julie, do you want to let them know about yours?
Yes, so as long as you have your net ID and you can get into Eagle Pay, you can sign up your authorized payer through there. It's done electronically. It's not an actual form that you fill out. And like I said, you can sign up to 5 individuals. You'll give them a username and password. They'll need an email address. And then once you set them up, they'll get an email notification letting them know that they can change the password if they choose.
And for financial aid, same thing. Once you have your net ID, you can set up your delegated access through the banner portal. And just keep in mind, the student is the one that needs to go in and complete that, as well as for the authorized payer, the student, it would go in through the student's Eagle Pay. They're the ones that would do that. But yes, you're welcome to do it as soon as you get your net ID. All right, next question. Are there any scholarships through the scholarship application available to freshmen? I started completing it and many of the questions seem geared towards upperclassmen. That is a great question. Yes, there are tons. There are quite a few based towards freshmen. It's kind of deceiving because for all of the upper class scholarships, a lot of them are based on your major or areas of interest. So as you start going through the application, it may look like there are more geared towards juniors and seniors. However, it's just because the ones for freshmen generally have way less complicated criteria. So go ahead and finish that application and good luck. All right, next question. When does the interest charge start for an unsubsidized loan? So I don't know if I don't think I even mentioned that. There are 2 different types of direct loans that you could be eligible for based on financial need within that $5,500 for a freshman. For a subsidized loan, which is the need-based portion, that does not accrue interest until after the student has graduated. However, the unsubsidized portion of the loan does accrue interest once the loan has been dispersed, which for the fall is usually, right before the semester. So if you are looking at your financial aid letter or on the portal, any of the portals, you may see it broken down by a portion being subsidized and a portion being unsubsidized. If you're looking at possibly taking some and not other, you'll definitely want to take the subsidized loan and cancel the unsubsidized portion. And that's a great question. All right, Julie, this one is for you. How does it work for a 529 account?
So if it is a 529 prepaid account, it usually covers tuition and fees only, or only will cover tuition and fees. Depending on how many units you have, will it cover all of it? But we get notified, we get a roster from Virginia Prepaid saying, hey, Tessa is covered for this amount of money. So we memo her account. And when you receive that e-bill notification, you should see it saying Virginia Prepay will pay this much, and then any remaining balance. If you have a Virginia Prepay and you don't see it on that first e-bill notification, reach out to Virginia 529 to make sure that they are aware that you're attending UMW. If it's an invest, that's simple. When you find out how much you need to pay for the tuition, you just simply contact them and instruct them on, I need this amount of money wired over. They have our wiring information. So it's, we'll get it within usually like 3 to 5 business days.
All right, next question. Are the bills for the dorms sent out with the rest for each semester? Also, how do we add parents to the e-bill list?
Yes, if you are a residential student, your e-bill will have your dorm and meal plan charges on it as well, along with the tuition and fees. For adding your parents to the e-bill, that's that authorized payer portion. You'll go into Eagle Pay and click on add authorized user. You give them a username and password, put in their email address, and anytime an e-bill is emailed out, you and that person will receive it.
Okay. When do we need to sign up for student loans? Well, if you've completed the Fafsa, you should have been offered federal direct loans, whether they're subsidized or unsubsidized. So for that portion, it's just going back in, accepting your loan through Banner, and doing those other requirements that you'll see on your requirement list. If you are looking to do, let's say, a private loan or a Parent Plus loan, we recommend waiting until about beginning to mid-June. A lot of times those will have a credit period of like 90 days or 120 days. So you'll want to make sure that you're not doing it too early so that credit, that they don't have to run your credit again before the loan disperses in the fall, if that makes sense. So my recommendation, if you're doing a Parent Plus loan or a private loan, would be probably mid-June. All right. Behind here. Do you prefer the 529 to be paid directly to you, or can we have it sent to us and we make the payment to you?
For Virginia 529, it's always sent directly to us. We bill, if it's a prepaid, we invoice them for it and they send it directly to us. An invest, you would have to check to see if it gets sent to you. I would think for tax purposes, it would be easier if it got sent to us, and that way it's all documented for taxes.
I would agree. How does work study work? Well, through UMW, like I said, we have federal work study, which is funded by the federal funds, and we have a even larger program for institutional work study, which doesn't require need-based. So all students are eligible to work, whether you have financial need or not. It works just like a regular job. You would go into the UMW careers portal, which is on the main webpage for UMW, and there's a section for student employment, and there are jobs posted. It works just like any other job. You probably want to create some references and possibly a resume. A lot of them are entry level. They're all entry level. So if you don't have work experience, that doesn't mean you're not going to get a job. And I know we have work study students in our office each semester, and it's a really great experience. It's a really great way to get experience and get something to put on your resume. And there's all different types of opportunities. So I always recommend for students to look into it. And if you're interested in working at financial aid, reach out and let us know, because we're always looking for students. I always have to put that plug in. Okay. What private loan did you guys say you recommended? So for a private loan, we actually recommend using a product called Umw Select. It's a website. We use Elm. They're a partner of ours for processing our private loans. So here, let me flip back to see if I can flip back to the slide for a minute so you have the information. Oh, there was. I just have it written on the bottom, and I apologize, but I'm sure if you just Google Umw Select, Elm is the company. And that is, it's kind of a search tool where you can put in your school, see what they use regularly, and it will give you some information. You don't have to use that. You're welcome to go to your personal bank or credit union and just ask what they have available. A lot of times that works as well, but it's going to be different for every person, every family, based on what kind of interest rates you might be eligible for. I always ask about repayment. Do they allow you to hold repayment until after the student graduates? That's something I would also look for. All right, once we pay the tuition and fees, will there be other times we are billed for other fees?
I like this question. So it depends. So what we see mostly is, say a student is registered for three classes, so 9 credits. That first bill goes out, you're going to be billed as a part-time student because you're not at 12. Once that e-bill goes out, say you register for some more courses that gets you to that full-time rate, you're going to get another bill for that difference. Sometimes if you see the health center, or if you have a digital access book that gets posted.
Parking tickets,
yes. Or even the decal. If you get the decal late, you'll get notified of those through email notification. So I always say, if you get an e-bill notification, go out and look at it to see what you're being charged for. And it could be that your financial aid hasn't posted yet, or the Virginia prepay hasn't memoed. So if you get an email, I would always go out and research it.
All right, next question. What type of loan is potentially a forgivable loan? The only loan forgiveness programs I know are through the federal loans. It's possible you could come out of college and have an employer that does, loan repayment for you. But as far as any loan forgiveness, it's usually the federal loans. And keep a close eye on it as the political arena changes. It's currently changing. So what is happening now may be different from 4 years from now. So just keep an eye on that. But right now there is and like for certain teaching programs, there is a forgivable loan if you work in certain school districts for so long. And there is a public service loan forgiveness program at this time. How much is interest for the loan? Oh, you got me. I always look it up ahead of time. Let me go ahead and look that up. Julie, why don't I find one for you while I look it up? Are there fees for using the health services? Do we need to purchase school insurance? Can we use private one? Do you know that?
So if you visit the health center, most likely receive $5 charges for like a strep test, or we don't see what you got done down there, but if you get a strep test, it's like $5. You don't purchase school insurance, health insurance through us. If you go outside UMW to like a Minute Clinic, then you would use your own. But $5 and maybe 10 is the most I've seen, depending on what you are getting seen for.
All right. So for the interest on federal loans, currently for undergraduate, this does slightly change each year, but currently for undergraduate borrowers, it's at 2.75%. They are fixed rates. Someone had asked if they were fixed or variable. And for graduate professional borrowers, it's at 4.3%. I'm looking for the plus loan. I'm not sure what the plus loan currently is. I know it is a little bit higher. But you can actually look, a great resource is studentaid.gov. It's the federal website. And they have a really good search tool. They update everything each year or twice a year if interest and loan fees change. But interest rate, like I said, for undergraduates right now is 2.75%. However, that ends on July 1st, 2021, and they haven't posted the new one. So I would imagine it's going to be somewhat similar to that. It never changes very much. So let's see what I missed here. I think that's all we have for now. Oh, are you requiring, this may be a question for our admissions associate here. Are you requiring all students to be vaccinated for COVID?
So we have not heard one way or the other. This year we required random testing. We required all students who were moving onto campus to be tested upon entry, and then students were randomly selected twice a week to be tested. We have not heard what the plan is moving forward, if we're going to just continue testing, if we're going to require vaccination. But I promise you will know when we know.
All right. And again, I am going to post in the chat the website that I was using for any information on federal direct. It's called the Federal Direct Loan Program, interest rates, how they have great explanations about how the interest accrues. So let me go ahead and add that on here. And that's a good one that you can look at for that information. And if you really want to get down deep into that, you're welcome to shoot us an email at finaid@umw.edu, and I'm happy to forward it to our loan coordinator, who is well-versed in everything going on with federal loans from day to day. So we've covered all of the questions. Does Oh, did you provide the website? Can you see? Oh, I sent a direct message. Sorry. Hold on. Thank you for bringing that up. Give me just one moment. If anybody has any other questions, feel free to go ahead and put them on the chat. I'm trying to find the best page for the interest rate information. Student aid. Just try that, and then you can use the search box to be more specific. Oh, great question. When do we start to fill out financial aid for the following year? The FAFSA opens every year in October. So keep in mind, as you're starting your semester in September, or late August, early September, that next month is when the FAFSA opens for the following year. So you have from the basic time period is October through February, and our deadline for priority funding is February 1st. Are there coordinators we can sit with to help us through this process? Yes, there are. We're located in Lee Hall in the financial aid office, and we're happy to, right now we're doing Zoom appointments, but as it comes time, or if you just want to sit down and talk to a financial aid advisor, we're happy to do that. Do we fill out the FAFSA in October 1st, or do we need to fill out more forms, or just FAFSA? So the FAFSA comes out October 1st. You would just need to fill it out before the following February 1st. And it is possible you could be selected for that verification process I was talking about. If not, you would just need to do the FAFSA. If you're selected for verification, it would be in your banner portal, and you would see you have more requirements for that year. Well, I will go ahead and put this up again for anybody that wants to see our information. And if you have any questions, please feel free to email us. It's probably the best way to get, or the quickest way to get an answer. But you're welcome to call. And as things start opening up, I mean, we'll probably have people back into the office. But right now, I think email is probably the best way. But if anybody has any closing comments or questions, please feel free to post them. We'll hang out for a few minutes and see what's up. And thank you very much. We really hope to see you at UMW next year.
We're glad you find this informative. That's what we like to hear.
I feel like we need closeout music.